I serve a far nobler cause than mere profit. Just like my brothers.
But there are herbs, mixtures, and extracts. My guards are proof of this. They were madmen before I found and freed them from the prisons of their own minds.
Do they strike you as proper slaves? Unfit for even the most menial tasks? No. I took them not to sell, but to save. And yet you'd kill us all. For no other reason than it was asked of you.
Everything I did to prepare them for the new world. Stole their food? No. I took possession so that when the lean times came, it might be rationed properly.
How could I finance a war in service to the same god that calls me an abomination?
Not so innocent. Dissident voices cut deep as steel. They disrupt order. In this, I do agree with the Brotherhood.
Freed it, you fool, from the tyranny of faith.
Is it not ancient scrolls that inspire the Crusaders? That fill Salah ad-Din and his men with a sense of righteous fury? Their texts endanger others.
The only difference between your master and I is that he did not want to share.
Destroy the only thing capable of ending the Crusades and creating true peace? Never.
Hello and welcome back to the final episode of Assassin's Creed in the Templar Cause, a series where we take a deeper look at the backgrounds and motivations of each member of the Templars in Assassin's Creed. We have tracked down and killed the 9 men Al-Mualim listed for us, and we have finally come to learn the truth. Al-Mualim himself has worked with the Templars, and this entire assignment has been one of vengeance, rather than part of a benevolent plan to calm the Holy Land. Today we are going to talk about the motivations of Al-Mualim, his role with the Templars, and his plans for the Holy Land. With that out of the way, here we go. After all this death in Assassin's Creed, it really is important to ask, what does Al-Mualim want? What is his end goal, and what does that look like when fully realized? In short, we get this answer right as we return to Masyaf. Altair is greeted by exactly what both the Templar plan and Al-Mualim's plan creates, people completely lacking free will. This is invariably a vital part of what both forces want, and it's easy to see why. Al-Mualim seeks complete control over everyone because, as he sees it, the world cannot be left to its own devices. When people are allowed free will and freedom of choice, they choose violence. They choose hatred and they choose war. People are swayed off the right path and then dig in forever. He has seen the Holy Land face little more than terror and suffering for years and has decided to do something about it. And so Al-Mualim's motivation with seizing the apple and using its powers is to create a complete and total peace at the cost of the free will of the people. He joins with Robert and his band of sociopaths in order to locate this piece of Eden, and waits until the last moment to betray them. As he mentions to Altair before this revelation, he does not hate their goal of peace, but rather hates their methods. This is originally interpreted as meaning that Al-Mualim believes the apple is the wrong path to peace. But, upon reflection, it actually means that he hates spreading the control around as the Templars would, which is quite the divergence of character from what players knew of him before this reveal. Al-Mualim had, to this point, laid out interesting counters to the Templar claims, and come off as a person who valued personal freedom above all other things. His interpretation of the creed, that nothing is true and that everything is permitted, was that people need to question their reality and transcend it. But, in reality, his belief in that creed is that literally nothing is out of bounds, that all methods for peace are permitted. And so he joins, then betrays the Templars to seize the apple, then sends Altair to wipe out all who could know of his plans and powers, and plans to eliminate Altair as he returns to Masyaf. With Altair gone, Al-Mualim would then seize the Holy Land under the power of the apple, thus ending the Third Crusade, bringing peace to the Holy Land, and preventing any and all future conflicts forever. Al-Mualim genuinely believes that the only way to end human suffering is to eliminate free will. Let's now listen in to the debate Altair has with Mualim.
No! What's happening?
So, the student returns.
I've never been one to run.
Never been one to listen either.
I still live because of it.
What will I do with you?
Let me go.
Oh, Altair. I hear the hatred in your voice. Feel its heat. Let you go? That would be unwise.
Why are you doing this?
I found proof.
Proof of what?
That nothing is true. And everything is permitted. Come. Destroy the betrayer. Send him from this world.
Face me! Or are you afraid?
I have stood before 1,000 men, all of them superior to you, and all of them dead, by my hand. I am not afraid.
Prove it.
What could I possibly fear? Look at the power I command. Have you any final words?
You lied to me. Called Robert's goal foul when all along it was yours as well.
I've never been much good at sharing.
You won't succeed. Others will find the strength to stand against you.
And this is why, so long as men maintain free will, there can be no peace.
I killed the last man who spoke as such.
Bold words, boy. But just words.
Then let me go. I'll put words into action. Tell me, Master, why did you not make me like the other assassins? Why allow me to retain my mind?
Who you are and what you do are twined too tight together. To rob you of one would have deprived me of the other. And those Templars had to die. But the truth is, I did try. In my study, when I showed you the treasure. But you are not like the others. You saw through the illusion.
Illusion?
That's all it's ever done. This Templar treasure, this piece of Eden, this word of God. Do you understand now? The Red Sea was never parted. Water never turned to wine. It was not the machinations of Iris that spawned the Trojan War, but this! Illusions! All of them!
What you plan is no less an illusion. To force men to follow you against their will.
Is it any less real than the phantoms the Saracens and Crusaders follow now? Those craven gods who retreat from this world that men might slaughter one another in their names? They live amongst an illusion already. I'm simply giving them another. One that demands less blood.
Least they choose these phantoms.
Or do they? Aside from the occasional convert or heretic?
It isn't right.
Ah, and now logic has left you. In its place, you embrace emotion. I am disappointed.
What's to be done then?
You will not follow me, and I cannot compel you.
And you refuse to give up this evil scheme.
It seems then we are at an impasse.
No, we are at an end.
I will miss you, Altair. You were my very best student. Impossible. The student does not defeat the teacher.
الشيء واقع مطلق بل كل ممكن.
So it seems. You have won then. Go and claim your prize.
You held fire in your hand, old man. It should have been destroyed.
Destroy the only thing capable of ending the Crusades and creating true peace? Never.
then I will.
We'll see about that.
And after all this, we see that Mualim was genuine in his belief that he was solving world conflict, which you have to admire just a little bit. In the end, though, he brought much suffering to the Holy Land through his working with the Templars. He knew of their plans, and, while he did strip them of their piece of Eden and had them all killed, he still in some part is guilty for their crimes. And he is wholly guilty for the loss of free will of the people of Masyaf. Our judgment for this figure should therefore be quite harsh. Al-Mualim is a misguided man who let power and selfishness consume him on his journey towards ensuring peace. And it is a great thing that Altair stopped him when he did. And that will do it. We finally completed Assassin's Creed in the Templar cause. 10 figures up and 10 figures down. I hope you all enjoyed the series, and I hope you come back to check out even more content from games in the Assassin's Creed series.
Looks like... is that blood? The hell were they keeping here before me? And what happened to him? What does it mean, I wonder?